Hello, my name is Moon Griffon. Welcome to the Moon Griffon podcast, where we break down the issues of the day around the United States of America. We're putting out a couple a week. Pretty soon, it's going to be about 4 times a week, and hoping you get an opportunity during the week to catch our podcast. Make sure you subscribe, and we'd love to have you to be part of it. Make sure you tell a friend to subscribe. Hey, I love getting your comments. I'm starting to get a lot of comments. It's pretty cool. So keep your comments coming, and we would love to get that from you, and maybe we'll respond back to you as well. Today, I want to talk to the churches. There are a lot of churches out there, a lot of Christian faiths, a lot of churches out there. And I'm kind of worried about our churches. And the reason I'm worried about them is it may not be for what you think I was going to talk about, but I want to be real direct. I'm a born-again Christian. I know a lot of good churches out there that follow Jesus Christ. And but I got a concern, and so I'm gonna vent it today and let you know, and I'd love to get your comments on it. I'm worried about the churches and the people in the churches and everybody that calls themselves, quote, Christian. I'm just worried about us sitting back and allowing all these changes to happen in the country. Now, what I'm about to say may not be true. It looks like we're not fighting. I know we are. Look at the recent ruling dealing with the Supreme Court and abortion. I know that fight has been a long time, but we didn't eliminate abortion. People can still go kill babies if they want to. And we did get a big win for states that don't want to have abortion. So that took a lot of fight and a lot of guts to do that. But it's like there's so many anti-Christian stuff coming at us now. We're not fighting every one of them. And let me tell you what I mean. I think the United States of America, if you go back and look at history, was a Christian nation. I don't think people can argue with that all they want to. My belief is it was a Christian nation. We believe God blessed this country, blessed it far beyond any other country that's been out there. And we're still living on His blessings. Excuse me. Number two, I think we were a Christian nation. I think now we moved to a post-Christian nation. And I think that's where we've been for the last 30, 40, 50 years. We've kind of been in that post-Christian nation where we're not the Christian nation we were, and we're not the Christian nation we should be, and we're behind that 8 ball. And the third place, I think, where we headed at now, and this is where I hope I'm wrong. I hope people will correct me on this. I think we're in an anti-Christian nation. I'm watching what they're doing with all these different issues, and it looks to me it's kind of anti-Christ versus Christ. I'm not worried about Jesus being mocked because He's not going to be mocked. But I think He's being mocked right now about the United States of America and the whole world. Now, what you mean by that is the abortion was bad enough. I mean, 63 million babies dead. You can believe abortion's okay. I'm watching pastors, Senator Warnock for you people in Georgia. He's at a Christian pulpit saying that even Christ in the Bible says that abortion's okay. Nobody said a word. No blowback, none whatsoever. Then I look up, we changed the definition of a marriage. Once you change the definition of the real godly marriage, which is one man and one woman, and you change it into a marriage that anybody can really get married, that definition of marriage is going to blow up. That's going to include everything one day. Don't be surprised if 2 men marry a woman or 3 men get married. Why can't they? They can claim they love each other and it can become a marriage. But that's not the biblical definition of a marriage. It's a one man and one woman. So that's changed now. Okay, man has a right to do what you want to. And by the way, somebody listen to this, get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. You have a right to believe in what you want to believe. You have a right to live the way you want to live. You do. So that's your choice. If you believe in all that, you can. Just like with abortion. You know, all the scripture says God knew you before you were conceived. The Lord knew you in the womb. We all know that, but yet we got people arguing, is it a life? And when does life begin? Then we got marriage. Then it's last thing. I said last thing. One of the things that's blown me away has been the LGBTQ. And what's blown me away is a man can become a woman can become a man. And this is being taught in schools. We got states that are now on a birth certificate not putting whether you're a male or female. And by the way, I'm joking with my audience. I said, I'd like a federal job. I'll go to every birthing center in the United States of America, and I'll teach them to identify a man and a boy and a girl. It'd be easy. They could pay me about, $300,000 a year, and I'll go and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll train everybody to know when it's a boy or a girl. But what we have now is people telling us, no, people don't know. Critical race theory, in the schools to totally go 100% against white people. And I don't understand that because I've been fair to everybody. I trust, I believe if you're a red-blooded American, it don't matter what color you are. You're a red-blooded American. And your rights ought to be just as good as mine, and mine ought to be as good as yours. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. It don't matter what your skin color is. But they teach it hate in the schools when it comes to race. Yet, I don't see the fight back on these subjects. I do abortion, but not on these subjects. Imagine telling a kid that you can be any sex you want to. They're having sexual operations. Parents are allowing some kids under 12 and 13 years old to have sexual operations. I got to tell you, I'm 61 years old. And when I was a young person, I knew what I was, male or female, and I'm a male. I ain't got to tell you that. But what I mean is, I didn't know what I wanted to become. And they're allowing these kids to tell me, I think I'm a woman, I want to get an operation, and people are paying for it. And these people, there have been so many stories of people after having, quote, sexual operations deciding I made a mistake. It's too late at that point. What I don't understand with the church, and I'm just being blunt with you, and I don't go in every church, but I don't understand the church from the pulpit not teaching people about what's going on out here right now. Because what's going on right now is really sad to see in the United States of America. The fight that's going on with this gender thing. This thing blows my mind that we can't determine what a boy is and what a girl is. It blows my mind to tell somebody that you can become a boy, you can become a girl. We are allowing in some states for people that are boys saying they're girls to go in a girl's bathroom. I've read enough stories about rapes and people being hurt. I'm sitting back going, what's the church's involvement in this? Because all the stuff that they're doing right now is so anti-Christ. It's literally anti-Christ. It's going against everything you've been taught if you're a believer. Now, if you're not a believer in Jesus Christ, you can turn this off, and I get it. Because I'm probably way over the top of your head. But if you're a believer, then what is our role in the United States of America? Because our very own government, which pays for federally funded abortion, they tell you that's not true, but it is. Okay? They're now telling people we got the president of the United States, Joe Biden, with all this gender stuff out there and trying to teach people about gender. You don't need to be taught about a gender. Look between your legs. It's real simple. It really is. But my point is, where is the church in all this? Is the church informing their members about what's going on in America today? They're trying to teach this in the schools. We're trying to get gender stuff taught to kindergartens. Kids that are in kindergarten. Think back. I can't even remember being in kindergarten. Well, come to think of it, I didn't go. That might be my problem. They say you learn a lot at a young age. I was the only one of 5 kids that didn't go to kindergarten. My point being, kindergarten, first grade, 6th grade, teach them about sex and sexual diversity and sexual gender stuff, and you don't know who you are yet, and having drag queen shows. This is what's going on in public schools today. Not all public schools and not all states, but this is what's creeping through the whole school system dealing with gender. And for the life of me, I can't understand in America if the churches of Jesus Christ don't stand up and don't be counted at the school board and representatives and senators in your house, your legislative house committees and stuff like that, and you're not standing up, these people on the left are evil. These people on the left are driving a stake in us for no reason at all. But we allow them to drive the stake because the churches aren't standing up. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I know there's some groups out there that are fighting this. The problem is when you fight it, because the media has become so evil too, the media is going to beat on you. They're going to beat on you. It's just no doubt about it. But man, every time the more I think about this, the more frustrating I get for me, because I don't see we, including myself, why are we not fighting this? Listen, think about this with gender. God's on our side. God can prove a man and woman every single time. All right, you don't believe in that? That's fine. Science. We go through all this stuff about science, and we went through it with masks and vaccines. What does the science show about a male and a female, the biological science? It shows who's a male and who's a female. We got God on our side and we got science on our side. Think about this. Abortion. Okay? We call it a baby. When my wife got pregnant, when I got 4 children, I was excited. I knew right then we had a baby coming. I got 4 grandbabies. One of my sons, who's a pastor, just had 2 beautiful little boys. We knew they were pregnant, and in about 10 weeks, maybe shorter than that, we knew we were having 2 boys. So the science behind a baby and God and what he describes as a baby all lines up. Then how come we stupid now and all of a sudden the government and these people on the left come up with this new way of identifying people? There's no new way. 2 genders, boy and a girl. There's 2 genders. That's never going to change. Now, in man's way, they think they can change it. They can go do all these operations. They're messing up a lot of people. And my frustration is, where's the church? Am I wrong by saying, and if I am, please comment. Am I wrong by saying, when will a church stand up? Is the church more worried about having the no tax status? Is that what we're watching now? Is the church more worried about their reputation, how much money they're getting in? Are they worried about making somebody mad? Folks, this is a real anti-Christ movement in this country. Like I said, if you're not a Christian, you can poo-poo me, you can blame me, you can curse me, you can get mad at me. I'm just talking to the church. Because if the church doesn't wake up and see what's going on, I think some of this stuff is so far gone, you're not going to stop it. The problem is nobody wants to get in the way because we're watching what the woke culture has taught us, that businesses and social media will call you out. And if I'm a big dog at a big company and I go to a certain church and that church stands up for something, not against something, for something, and somebody points out, oh, Moon, he runs that company. He's over at that crazy church because the church was identified by the media and these people as being such a bad church because they don't believe in gender. They don't believe in climate change. That's another thing. Well, they don't believe that the world's going to be devastated by man-made global warming. I don't believe in that. I think that's a lie from hell. Once again, look at what God says about the earth. We're to use the earth just like we're using it. For the betterment of America, for the betterment of the world, we're to use the earth. They come back and say, no, you can't do that anymore. And that's what they're trying to get us to. Once again, anti-Christ. When are the Christians going to stand up? When is the church going to stand up? Now, like I said, you can comment and say, Moon, you don't blame the church. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm asking you who's going to lead the charge to stand up against the craziness that's going on in the United States of America. I have a right to ask the question, okay? We have to be able to respond to what's going on. Because they don't have God behind them. They don't have science behind them. So what do they have behind them? They got the media and the world. I mean, I was looking at the World Economic Forum, and that's where all the big shots of the world, and the United States sent people over there too. Well, guess what? One of the things they were promoting pedophilia, which is sex with men and kids. I'm talking about kids. They were promoting that as a way to save the planet because they don't reproduce. I'm not making it up. Go look at it for yourself. They're coming back with this deal. They don't want you to eat meat. They want you to eat plant-based or animal crickets or insect-based stuff. This is where they're going with this. Once again, it's anti-Christ, it's anti-God, and the fact that God gave us the animals with a rule dominion over the animals. Everything they're doing is everything God taught us. They're going totally against, and yet where's the church? I don't see the church fighting. I don't see the church fighting back on some of the craziest things I've ever seen. Because I got to believe that they're worried about somebody in the church leaving the church. I mean, I hope I'm wrong on this. I don't think I am. What is the church worried about? Take a stand. This is real life stuff that if it's gone too far, and some of this has already gone too far, we're going to end up with 63 million aborted babies. You know, it all starts so innocent. I mean, telling somebody they can become a girl or a boy and changing the agenda bothers me to no end. If you want to do it, enjoy yourself. If you want to be like that, I don't have a problem, be yourself. We shouldn't allow this to happen in schools. Government shouldn't be involved in it either. I am just disappointed. I'm asking the church, are we backing down too much instead of standing up? And I'm talking to the church of Christians. Are we backing down? Why aren't we taking a stance on things that are really important? Because once this stuff gets deep in our culture, you're not getting it out, buddy. You're not getting it out. And I'm afraid that's where we are now. All right, we got to take a break. Appreciate you joining me. God bless. Talk to you next time.